Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. PFF names Isaac Seumalo Steelers' most underrated player. Pittsburgh Steelers guard Isaac Seumalo is known as a man of few words who flies under the radar. Pro Football Focus believes he should receive more recognition for his contributions to the team. In a May 13 article, analyst Zoltan Bude named Seumalo the Steelers' most underrated player. Seumalo was part of arguably the NFL's best offensive line while in Philadelphia, and although he did not get off to a good start in Pittsburgh, he soon proved why the Steelers signed him as a free agent in 2023, Bude wrote. Excluding the first 2 weeks, he earned a 78.3 PFF overall grade, which ranked 6th among guards during that span. The Steelers signed Seumalo to a 3-year contract in the 2023 offseason. Before he came to Pittsburgh, Seumalo played 7 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles, where he played as both a left and right guard. In Philadelphia, he started 60 regular season games and appeared in 9 postseason games, including Super Bowl 52 and Super Bowl 57. Seumalo was a consistent presence on the offensive line for the Steelers during the 2023 season. He started all 17 regular season games, plus the team's playoff game against the Buffalo Bills. According to PFF, Seumalo didn't allow a single sack for the Steelers in 586 pass block snaps. In a January 9 press conference, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin called Seumalo's mentality a no-nonsense, blue-collar approach. "When you're in my position, you value guys like that," Tomlin said, via the team's YouTube channel. "You know you can count on them, and he's definitively been that." Seumalo enters his 9th season in the NFL as the most experienced starter on the Steelers' offensive line. The unit got younger during the 2024 draft with first-round pick offensive tackle Troy Fautanu, second-round pick center Zach Frazier and fourth-round pick guard Mason McCormick. During Steelers' rookie minicamp on May 10, Fautanu said he has already had conversations with the team's veteran offensive linemen. He added his locker is right next to Seumalo, and he plans to look to the veteran guard for advice as he navigates his first season in the NFL. "I apologize to him because I'm going to be bothering him a whole bunch," Fautanu said, via the team's YouTube page. "When you've got a guy like that, 9-year vet that's been around the league for so long, you want to pick his brain. He's got a lot coming. I'm going to be bothering him a whole bunch." Fautanu also said he quickly got a glimpse of Seumalo's quiet demeanor. "To be honest, he's a man of few words. I learned that very quickly, so I didn't want to bother him too much on my first day. I didn't want to have a bad first impression." According to TribLive, Fautanu and Seumalo also share Polynesian heritage, which Fautanu believes could be beneficial in their relationship. "Maybe that's why they put me next to him in the locker room, but man, just knowing that he was brought up on kind of the same morals and values that I was makes it a little bit easier to kind of talk to him." Steelers season opening Week 1 game leaks. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost in the first round of the 2024 NFL playoffs to the Buffalo Bills before retooling their roster this offseason. Quarterbacks duo Justin Fields and Russell Wilson is expected to take over for Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett for coach Mike Tomlin, which could constitute an improvement come playoff time if either guy plays up to his potential. The Steelers' opening week game was revealed on Tuesday amid a sea of Steelers news. Wilson was surprisingly compared to Antonio Brown recently. Jerome the Bus Bettis explained his thoughts on Steelers RB Najee Harris's latest move. "The Steelers now must get ready for a Week 1 opponent that few saw coming, one that could challenge the team in ways it never thought possible." The news was shared in a Twitter report that has fans buzzing. The Steelers will play Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons in a game that will constitute the return of new Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. The Steelers finished last season with a 10-7 record, just ahead of the Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals. The Falcons finished last year with a 7-10 record and became dissatisfied with the QB play of former Cincinnati Bearcats star Desmond Ridder, who was traded to the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for former Purdue Boilermakers wide receiver Rondale Moore. Kirk Cousins' presence in the ATL gives Falcons fans hope for a better season. The Falcons also drafted Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. Kirk Cousins' presence in the ATL gives Falcons fans hope for a better season. The Falcons also drafted Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. The Steelers can start their season on the right foot with a win over Cousins and the Falcons, but it won't be easy if Cousins is healthy and back to his productive ways in Atlanta by the time the first week rolls around. It's been a chaotic offseason for Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Justin Fields. Really, a chaotic career. Ever since he entered the NFL in 2021, Fields has been in the center of chaos with the Chicago Bears. He was drafted to a team that had little to no weapons, a bad offensive line, and a defense that was undergoing a rebuild. Not to mention a complete overhaul of the coaching staff and front office that took place. But according to Tyler Dunn of Go Long, there was far more going on behind the scenes in Chicago. In 2021, Nick Foles was on the Bears roster and more or less was expected to be a veteran in the room to help Justin Fields. However, according to a source in Dunn's piece on the Bears, the relationship was rocky. Foles was trying to teach something to Fields in the QB room, the unnamed source said via Dunn's piece. Foles realized Fields wasn't even paying attention. At that point, Foles was done trying to play mentor. The two could not stand each other. The source also said that there were several arguments that took place amongst Foles, Fields, and Andy Dalton and that the quarterback room as a whole was toxic as hell. Now, there are multiple ways to look at all of this. On one hand, you can view it as Justin Fields being hard to work with, should these sources' stories be 100% accurate. On the other, you can view it as pettiness from coaches who failed to get the most out of Fields and are looking to play the blame game and point fingers. All of this also took place 3 years ago, so even if Fields was somewhat of a headstrong rookie, you'd like to think he's learned a lot and grown in that time span. Especially because we've never heard anything about Fields being a bad teammate or difficult to work with. Regardless, this is a new chapter for Fields. A new start in Pittsburgh. And hopefully he makes the most of it. Terrible tall tales, Treylon Burks tabbed as WR Steelers will land. The formal or informal chats between representatives of NFL teams and draft prospects at the annual combine can span from the spectrum of mundane, awkward, bizarre, informative, conversational, and enlightening. This past winter, more than one soon-to-be drafted player found one topic in particular piqued the mutual interest of him and the team. Everybody that I've talked to, Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker Peyton Wilson said of team management types during the combine, really loves that I was a wrestler and that I was a state champion wrestler. According to Pro Football Network's Dallas Robinson, Pittsburgh is the best fit and a possible option for Burks. At 6'2" and 225 pounds, Burks has the size to line up on the outside opposite George Pickens, Robinson wrote. Pittsburgh took low-cost free agent flyers on Van Jefferson and Quez Watkins this offseason, but the league probably knows what those veterans are capable of. Burks is a little more tantalizing and could offer untapped upside for the Steelers. The first is Jonathan Ward. The former Arizona Cardinal and Tennessee Titan impressed during both days of camp, showing off his speed and power during individual drills. Eddie Faulkner even called him old hands at one point, following a pass-blocking drill where Ward nearly pushed the RB coach into the next field. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Treylon Burks? Leave your opinion in the comments.